special motion, the removal of DB Gachagua. I'm going to stream and also show the whatever people are saying here. And actually, if you look at it, and remember that currently they have also arrested Morara, and he is now in. I wonder why this arrest has been conducted, because we were expecting them to arrest those who hired goons. He had already said that they'll blame whatever happened at Bomas on him. So let's keep watching this as we follow up what's happening to Morara and what's happening in Parliament. So our parliamentarians have failed to discuss our own problems, and they are now discussing their problem. Remember what we saw Caroline say at Bomas. So whatever they are discussing here is their problem, not our problem. Our problems are economic problems. We are challenged with fees, health. Remember SHA. SHA is something more of Indian, because even that name itself. So we are being forced from NHIF to SHA, and so far NHIF has not even been paid their money after taking care of people's health. So here we are, forced to watch their problem. So let's just look at the few comments people are making here before we can go to the live stream itself. So I hope you can see clearly. Some of the comments are there. Sam J. Prince has said, si utapupu huyu mjinga. You see, that one is a very funny comment. Like, we can remember Malisafi from this. Patrick Wanjiku is saying, woi kuonewa nayo. I don't know whether it is Rigathi or who. Joseph Kaloki is saying free Morara. Of course, you know, currently he has been arrested. So they are reminding them to free Morara. Erika Opondo has said, wame vote. Asking possibly. Now we have Felix Amwoma saying Kagusha Oye. That's possibly Kikuyu. And all that. Now you can see the comments are so many, I can't read all of them. But I can show you some of the comments. Kenyans are watching about 10,590. They are watching and seeing what is happening. The emojis, people are surprised. So, well, they are saying the CBD police wameja, so which means, do they expect chaos or what? Maybe from what, was it? Who had spoken? Eric Omondi. Eric Omondi has spoken about what would happen if they continue voting against Gachagua, when all of them should go. Kufa Maganga, Kufa Dereva. So, you can see those comments. They're actually very funny. Kagombe, Kenya of shares must be put to rest. Yeah, I hope that they'll also be going for the speaker. The speaker is seated there. And it's funny that the speaker is sitting on something that is also involved. Because I should not expect him to be the speaker in this case if he's also having shares. Yeah, and all those who are involved in the shares. Now, what will happen to them? Because they are only starting with one. Will the rest also happen? I hope it will happen, that they will go for the rest. Yeah, so that it's not only one that will be crucified. So back to the live streaming app there, which I'll show for some minutes before we can go to any other thing. The proceedings here.
47.3 as read with 134. This he has failed. He has also shown massive erosion of the position of the executive, not being the assistant and showing the unity so expected of him, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Deputy President severally pronounced himself on matters discriminating Kenyans, that he has gotten his share of cabinet secretaries in his region. Cabinet secretaries belong to all Kenyans, and I think that doesn't befit. He has addressed public servants in public, and in all aspects, he has violated Article 232, which is the same principles that is expected for the executive. Finally, Mr. Speaker, we also talked ill of public participation. The courts have declared themselves that public participation was well done, and yesterday it was clear that he was contemptuous that the public participation done by the National Assembly did not meet the required threshold, and that I believe is also being so contemptuous of this. With those few remarks, I support the impeachment. Thank you.
Raphael Wanjala.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the opportunity to contribute to this important motion in this country. Mr. Speaker, this is my second motion since I became Member of Parliament, the second one to discuss impeachment of our Deputy President. Mr. Speaker, I'm very disturbed the way our Deputy President has been behaving, because the Deputy President is principal assistant of the President. But always when the President goes out of the country, the guy recedes back to Murima, and then he starts asking Mr. President so many questions instead of running the country when the President is away. He's never available in Nairobi, except he's only available in his village, trying to ask Mr. President questions, and that, Mr. Speaker, has really annoyed some of us. Mr. Speaker, when there were floods, this Deputy President, Mr. Speaker, was assigned by the President that he's supposed to take care of the disaster that was there at that time. The man never moved from his homeyard to other areas. He was never in Inyando, he was never in Budalangi, he was nowhere, and all the food he directed to his backyard. Mr. Speaker, I want to be very brief. Mr. Speaker, this Deputy President.
Order, Wanjala, there's a point of order. Yes, Moya.
Honorable Speaker, is the member in order to say the Deputy President has never moved out of his backyard, while it is on record and on public domain that he has been in Kisumu, in Busia, in Mombasa, in all parts of the country?
Mr. Speaker, the Deputy President will only be seen in those places when he's accompanying the President, but he has never come on his own to see the destruction of floods. Mr. Speaker, these people of EACC did a disservice to this country, because for you to be elected, you must go through EACC. Mr. Speaker, this Deputy President was a DO, and Mr. Speaker, he was a DO, and as a DO, he was sacked on 30th July 1997 as a DO. And the reason why he was sacked, and I will table this later, that the EACC did not do its work, and it cleared him to be a member of Parliament and to be a Deputy President. Yes, he was not supposed to be because of his misconduct. Mr. Speaker, this letter is read as Mr. Geoffrey regarding Gachagua, District Officer 1, Laikipia, through Provincial Commissioner, summarily dismissal. Reference is made for our letter dated 19th May 1989 on your appointment to the position of District Officer. I and your response statements to show cause for gross misconduct, desertion of duty, and reported mismanagement of relief food for Laikipia District. This is it. In this regard, we wish to notify you that your employment contract has been terminated forthwith. Consequently, you are required to report to the Rift Valley Provincial Commissioner for handover and clearance. This was signed by Queen Dua. Mr. Speaker, this was a wrong man to be in this office in the first place. This one, for Kenya to grow, Gachagua must go. For to stop tribalism, Gachagua must go. For Kenya to unite, Gachagua must go. I tabled the letter and I support the motion.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Raphael has produced a photocopy of a document that we cannot get its authenticity. Honorable Speaker, the document that Honorable Raphael Wanjala is referring to is not.
Order, Honorable Gachagua. Order. Take your seat, Honorable Gachagua. Honorable Gachagua, first, from where you are sitting, you have not seen the document. Secondly, the Speaker is fully conversant with the rules of admissibility. And I'll look at the document and I'll direct you on how to use it. I thought I had given you an opportunity to contribute. You are going at a tangent that is totally unnecessary. If you want to contribute, that is what I have given you. If you are not ready to contribute, I'll give somebody else.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to stand, and I stand guided. Honorable Speaker, I want to stand to oppose the motion to impeach the Deputy President. Honorable Speaker, the reason why the new constitution brought about the issue of having a deputy president position, which is not an appointed position anymore, but a position that the president and the deputy would be conjoined together at the point of election, so that the two of them can be able to work together. And that is what the country desires. That is what our people of this Republic of Kenya voted for in 2010 in the new constitution. Honorable Speaker, I want to believe that when we have been able to get the two of them, we should be able as a country, as much as practically possible, ensure that whatever misunderstanding and whatever differences that may appear or may exist between the two of them,
Yes, Kagombe.
we get.
Kagusha, hold. Honorable Gigi Kagombe, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, is the honorable member in order to disparage the Constitution and mutilate it in the manner he is doing by disputing the provisions of Article 150 of this Parliament to remove a sitting deputy president? It is constitutional, it is written, it was passed by us in 2010, and that work is given and granted by the Constitution to this Parliament. Therefore, the fact that the president and the deputy president were elected together doesn't stop the provisions of Article 150. So therefore, it should withdraw. Honorable Speaker, you know there's a reason why Honorable Kagombe is called Kagombe and not Kigombe. It's because a small cow jumps before he jumps, you know, a small cow. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Speaker, you know,
What you are saying? Order. Order, honorable members, order. Order. Honorable Kagusha, take your seat. Order, honorable members, order. Honorable Kagusha, you are here the whole morning, and I did direct the house. Order. Order. Order, Nabwini, take your seat. Honorable members, we have done very well this morning.
So, what do you think from what you've just seen? I can see a lot of confusion here and there in the parliament. And of course, there is a two-sided view here. Those who are supporting Rigathi so that he remains, and those who are against. So the special motion, as it is labeled, will go on and on. And let's wait for the result at the end of the day. It's only in our thoughts to think of the future. Maybe what happens then? According to what you've heard Raphael saying, that Rigathi was, out of conduct long ago. But still, the team that elected him or picked him checked everything. So what happened? What are they trying to tell us about how they pick people into offices? Yeah. Why did people not bring this earlier, but they are bringing it now? The other question is, when you look at how Wamshomba is arguing, and how the rest are, who is right? Because I saw earlier Millie Odhiambo talking about Makanga and quotes. So let's keep following this and see what will unravel. If you have not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing to it in support of my growth. Bye bye.